Life is such that sometimes you have to do things you don't want to do. There's no avoiding it. Sometimes there's no getting out of doing something that you just hate doing. But actually, there is avoiding this. You can't live your life in a way that you never have to do things that you don't want to do. Now, I don't mean changing your responsibilities, changing the activities that you have to engage in, but what I mean is you can do all of the same activities that you've done your whole life, the things that you've had to do but you've hated doing, in a way that you're perfectly okay with doing them. You're perfectly in acceptance that this is something that you have to do and you're okay with it. Now, you have to look towards why you're hating doing these activities, why you're despising them, why you're not accepting that this is what I have to do and I'm just going to do it without having any stress about it. The reason why you have stress, the reason why you dislike doing some things is because when you're doing them, you have thoughts about them. A bunch of thoughts arise telling you you don't like doing this, you don't want to be doing this, you should be doing something else, you could be doing something else. It would be so much better if you were doing something else. So you have all those thoughts and you resonate with them. You connect to them. You believe them. And that's what leads to you actually disliking the activity. So if you don't believe that, if you still want to stick to, well, when I have to clean a gross, nasty coffee machine at work, I don't like doing it. It's just something I dislike, and it's the activity that's the problem, not my thoughts about the problem. Well, so let's look at that. Let's look at if you work in a coffee shop and your boss tells you you have to clean this machine, which is pretty nasty, pretty gross. It's got a bunch of coffee, beans, sugar, milk everywhere. It's nasty. So when you are set out to clean this thing and your eyes come across a particular part of the machine that's really dirty, really nasty. So your brain is going to cause these thoughts to arise. And you can't really control what thoughts your brain has. Now, I don't want to insinuate that you can make your brain have happy thoughts about this. Oh, how nice is it that I get to clean this machine? No. You can't change what thoughts your brain is going to cause to arise in your mind. They're just going to come. So which thoughts you have are going to be very affected by your recent past. If recently you've been angry, then your thoughts are going to be pretty heated, pretty negative. They're going to be along the lines of, this is so unfair that I have to be cleaning this machine. My boss is such a jerk that he or she makes me do this and not somebody else. My boss doesn't like me. If in the recent past you've been happy, then maybe your thoughts are going to be a little bit milder. But they're still probably going to be negative. Now, when those thoughts arise, you have two choices. You can either resonate with them, you can hold on to them, you can repeat them, you can believe that they're true, and you can let the way that they make you feel boil up, and you can really experience them and believe in that feeling. So if the thought is, I'm so angry that I have to be doing this, if you let that feeling of anger boil up in you and really feel anger, that's your choice to do that. Or you have a choice to just be aware that these are only thoughts. When I look at that coffee machine and I think, this is unfair that I have to be doing this, if I just realize that this is unfair that I have to be doing this is just a thought. And it's not 100% true. Just because I have a thought doesn't mean that it's fact. And if I realize this in that moment, then that realization, the awareness, is going to make the thought lose power. and probably it's going to make the thought just go away. I might even forget that I even had the thought. 2 seconds go by and I go on cleaning the machine, acting as if I'm not even mad about it. I'm not frustrated about it. So those are your 2 choices: to be connected to the thoughts and really, really believe in them, or to just be aware that they're only thoughts and let them go, and not be taken into the feeling that they make arise in you. So if you do the second one, and you sort of meditate the thoughts away, first of all, they might repeat themselves. But if you keep on sustaining the awareness that they're only thoughts and let those ones, the new ones, go also, then what are you doing? You're accepting that this activity is something that you are going to do. You need to do, and you're okay with it. And none of the stress, none of the anger, the frustration, the feeling of being a victim, none of those exist in you. You go on and you clean that machine, and if you get a little bit on your hand, and otherwise you would be so mad about that, you would feel so repulsed by it, you might just wipe it away, or just get a napkin and just clean it off and just go on as if nothing happened. You're going to have a much greater experience cleaning that machine. And you can do this for everything. Every single activity in your life that you dislike doing, you can accept that you have to do it and be okay with it. And you might even find enjoyment in activities that you disliked otherwise. And it's all from the thoughts. It's all from how you respond to your thoughts. Do you get taken into them? Or do you step back and you just be aware that these thoughts are only thoughts and they're not 100% true? I don't have to be swept away by them. And then you're in acceptance, and your life is just so much better for it. Your experience of life gets filled with this contentedness, this okayness with whatever is.